4 more sections of the face that are made up by, when you have, a small photograph, you get another business card and you cover the upper half of the face, and then down the middle of the face you put the other business card vertically, and that will expose the right mouth area. And the right mouth area describes how the individual deals with people as a function of their life history and all of that sort of thing, and starting with the family. The original family were the original people they had to deal with, and so this section of the face reflects both how they deal with people, and it also reflects the people and the family culture that they grew up in. And so it tells you what their formative process was like. Now, of course, you have to be something of a shrink to be able to really to understand that in some sort of I can tell you about this in words kind of thing. But again, like when you look at the other sections of the face, when you just let that part of the face sort of be there and speak to you, it will tell you about who their family was and what their role in the family was and how they dealt with each other and all of that sort of thing, and therefore how the individual learned to deal with people and how they basically still do. It starts out as an adaptation to the original family. It gets elaborated on and more, what you call it, more sophisticated and more variegated by time and experience with people outside the family and whatnot, but it still carries the residuals of the original family system if you look at it from that point of view and look at it there. But the other way you can look at the thing after you've done that for a little bit is to just sort of let it talk to you about what can you expect this person to behave like when you're with them. That, again, is one of those things. One picture is worth 1,000 words. It just sort of talks to you, but at the same time, you get a kind of an impression or a feeling. But it's pretty accurate at one level, although you do have to watch your own biases and expectations and beliefs about people and all of that sort of thing, because that all starts to enter in on all of this stuff, and you have to constantly question yourself, is this me thinking or is this the person's actual thing? Anyway, so that's the right quadrant, and then you reverse the thing, put the horizontal one on the bottom, and the vertical one, of course, and it stays in the center, and that exposes the right eye. And what that tells you is the individual's relationship to the world. There was a song that George Harrison put out a long time ago that said dreams about his whole experience of the world. And it was, "My guitar gently weeps." That said that he was not enraged, he was not afraid, he was not ashamed, but he was hurt by the way the world operates. The picture that I get when I hear that song is George Harrison's right side with a tear running down. It's that kind of information and experience that happens when you look at these things that comes to you. There are sort of phrases like that and images like that and that kind of thing, and they're generally, if you can get yourself as an interpretive system out of the way, they're pretty accurate. Anyway, now let's move to the left side and move the vertical card over to cover the right side of the face and put the horizontal card just above the nose, exposing the lower left area of the face, the mouth area on the left side. And I have a little thing about that. The right side of the mouth reflects how the person deals with people. The left side of the face comes from what was it like for them when they first formed up and had to cope with the family culture and their role in it and all that sort of thing. What was it like for them to be required, so to speak, by the nature of the family system and whatnot, to function with other people? In other words, if this is how I have to deal with people, who do I think other people are? Or another way of putting that is kind of a catchphrase version of it is, if the right side of the mouth reflects how the individual deals with people, the left side of the mouth shows you how they feel about people. Now move the horizontal card down to cover the mouth area and leave the vertical card in the center, and that will expose the upper left region of the face, the left eye area. As I said, the right eye reflects the individual's reaction to the world, and the left eye reflects their attitudes and reactions and feelings and experiences about themselves. When you watch that, you get the whole interior dialogue of the individual moving through life and thinking about themselves in relationship to everything that's going on. In other words, their relationship with themselves. Okay, now, the whole face. You just, after having done all this, mind you, not before, but after, you just let the whole face speak to you as an integrated whole person. And what you will get out of that is essentially the individual's destiny. What the overall purpose of their life here on planet is, and where it's taking them, and the larger role in the cosmos that the individual plays in coming in as a soul into this life for this lifetime. What is the individual's purpose as being this person in this time on this planet? After you've gone through all of that, you end up with varying levels, of course, depending on your experience and skill at it and that kind of thing, of profound understanding of who the person is at least the experiential or feeling level. And in my case, because I've been doing it for so long, I not only have that, but I also have the ability to verbalize it all. And so when I do a face reading or a soul reading, I talk about all that stuff, although not in the halves and sections or quadrants manner, because I speak to the whole person as a whole person, but in my internal process, I'm experiencing each of the sections in a kind of a rapid-fire kaleidoscope, and it guides me along as I'm working, both in the sense of getting who the person is and what their life is about and what its purposes all are and where it's going and what would be helpful for them to know and all that sort of thing. And also simultaneously, they are constantly providing me feedback with regard to how this is all affecting them throughout the entire face. And so I'm also being guided by the feedback that the individual's reactions are providing me, even though they're very subtle and very fast, and I can't even identify them, I experience them. And so, as a result, a face reading with me is rather a profound, intense experience. And it's not to be taken lightly, and you need to be aware that you'll get a lot of very interesting truth. And you also have to know that this is all done from a place of extreme universal love for people and an automatic pilot, natural love reaction I have to everybody. One of the things that I used to tell people when I taught the face course, which is to know you is to love you. And I guess that's what I have to say about it.
Wow, that's cool. So our face is a roadmap to our life.
Yes, it is.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that information with us, Michael.